Hey, what?
And this is Oscar.
And we're gonna be reviewing the second episode of The Flash, titled "The Fastest Man Alive." So, yeah, I thought it was like a pretty awesome episode. I don't think I liked the villain like as much as the first one, but it was pretty solid. What did you think of it?
Yeah, same here. Great episode, with some great moments in it, but the villain felt a little bit kind of meh. But hey, all in all, a great episode.
Yeah, I think it was just like I don't know. Both of them kind of lacked motivation. They were just sort of like just there, but I kind of like the weather wizard part more. But the CGI was really good as like the first episode in this episode. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the only motivation that he had was some sort of revenge scheme against this corporate asshole.
yeah, who was Simon Stagg too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know who Simon Stagg is, he's basically a rich asshole with a lot of skeleton in his closet.
So yeah, they also there was a lot of flashbacks incorporated into this episode too, which is I guess what they're trying to follow like Arrow's trend, and they're going to show like a young Barry like learning from his the detective guy. I keep forgetting his name, but
Yeah, the adoptive father, or like his foster dad.
yeah. So they're going to show like I guess their like the early days between them, and also we know that in this episode that he learns more about Barry and stuff. Like they come to accept each other now, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And they had a really beautiful moment towards the end of the episode.
Yeah, definitely. And I think going forward they're gonna like try and find out who really killed Barry's mom and stuff. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and that moment between the two, it really goes to show that there was a lot of heart put into this show. That there's a lot of heart went into writing this show, producing it, and of course the actors does a fantastic job.
Yeah, there's a lot of like feels moments and stuff in the show. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start watching The Flash now with a box of tissues next to me.
But yeah, also we got to see Barry. Well, in this episode, he was like a little out of it for the first half. They didn't realize that he was just not eating enough with his new metabolism and stuff. So
Yeah,
we got to see like
exactly.
a cosmic treadmill cameo, sort of.
Yeah, because in this episode, they dwelled a little bit more into his powers, basically, where they said that he needs the calories. He can't eat like normal people mostly can. He needs to consume a huge amount of calories, and the calories he needed to consume was something the equivalent of 850 tacos.
Yeah, and they joked about it too. Like in a few scenes, he had like 3 boxes of donuts, and like at the end, he had like 4 pizzas and stuff. Like it's pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly. But they gave him the energy bar, which will resemble like the amount of calories that he will need.
And we also learned a little bit more about Harrison Wells, I guess.
Yeah, the dude is not what he seems to be.
Yeah, because at the end of every episode, it seems like they're doing this little like Easter egg thing to like set up who he really is. And this one, we got to see like a darker version of him, actually.
Oh yeah, very dark. But you and I talked about this before we started recording about the Professor Zoom character that I think they're probably going to tease a little bit things about Harrison Wells, and then they're going to tease another thing with Eddie Thawne that one of them is going to be the real Reverse Flash, but they're going to drop hints at, maybe this guy is the Reverse Flash, or maybe this guy is the Reverse Flash for like every episode.
Yeah, and then it'll probably be like the big reveal towards the end, and because we already know that he'll be in that show because of the set photos and stuff. So
Yeah, exactly.
sort of like the Malcolm Merlin thing, I guess, with season 1 of Arrow.
Yeah, exactly. And they also made a reference to Ronnie Raymond, who's going to be on the next episode.
Oh yeah, and they cast the other half of him too,
Yeah,
the Firestorm. So that'll be interesting.
yeah, very interesting. And this episode, I would like to say that the theme of this episode was like limitations, and if you don't believe in yourself, then you're probably not gonna do the best that you can.
Yeah, because Barry doubts himself a lot, like especially towards the end when he has to try and like find the real like guy that's controlling all the copies and stuff.
Yeah, because they talk about, and they also talk about lots about limitations. They talk about that they don't really know Barry Allen's limits, and that he should probably start to be a little bit more careful. But then they also talk about the bad guy's limits, that it takes a huge amount of control from his side to control all these duplicates of his.
Yeah, and there's also a little bit more like development into like Iris and stuff. Like they're setting up a love triangle, like like we said in the first episode.
Yes, and this is kind of interesting. We also got a hint that maybe Eddie Thawne could be Professor Zoom. Every time he is with Iris, he basically flaunts his relationship between him and Iris into Barry Allen's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he said a line like, "Oh, Barry, isn't it hard to be having to have to keep such a big secret?"
Yeah, and there was I actually liked a scene like that where Barry was talking to Iris and he like went so fast that she just sat there and he was saying everything and she didn't know.
Yeah, he went really fast in that one.
Yeah, but overall, like I'm really excited to see where the season is going. I'm actually enjoying the show a lot more than like Gotham, and I haven't seen Constantine where that's gonna go yet. Like I saw some of the pilot, but I think this and Arrow are definitely like the strongest from DC right now. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and like it keeps you interested. You know, like you don't like lose focus from it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And you care a lot about what's going to happen next to the characters.
Yeah, it'll like who knows when Killer Frost is gonna show up or like Vibe and stuff like.
Yeah, exactly.
So overall, just like last thoughts, final scores. Like, what would you say for this one?
I would probably say a 8.5.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8. I didn't. Yeah, like I said, there were like aspects that I liked more than the pilot, but like I think I liked the pilot just like a little bit more overall.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I guess that'll conclude this review, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, take care everybody, and don't forget to comment and subscribe.
Yep.